Before we start with the video, I would like to apologize for my voice. I'm currently getting over a cold. Back in 2021, portrait and wedding photographers suffered a major loss when Fuji, formerly known as Fuji, we kinda like film, announced the discontinuation of their film Pro 400H. It was known for its versatility, wide exposure latitude, fine grain, and true to life color palette. I was lucky enough to shoot it fresh, and when I shot it for the first time, I fell in love. It gave me everything that I ever wanted in a product, sorta like the McRib. Pro 400H was Fuji's way of competing with Kodak's portrait line. Now when you ask people about it, photographers' eyes widen, they take a deep breath and speak fondly about it. And then comes a story about where they were when they heard the news. But people weren't buying it as much as they would have you believe, at least according to a couple of veterans and lab technicians that I know. Now for today's video, we'll be testing this film out and talk more about the film later. My buddy Matthew and I grabbed our gear and decided to travel just outside of Poznan. On the way there, we listened to Miley's Bangers album, hoping that it will inspire us to produce some bangers of our own. We made it to our first destination, and here is where I loaded my Pro 400H and my Pentax 6.7. Alright, so today I bought the Pentax 6.7. Haven't used this camera, well, that much because it always has problems. Today it might be its lucky day. The horse is stealing my thunder.
Now it's the time of the video when Adam always has a problem to load out this camera.
Hey, I don't have a problem with loading this camera. I just have a problem with loading this camera in front of people. I miss that shutter sound. It is definitely cooler when compared to portrait, and the greens and blues sure are amazing. So, the Pro 400H Emotion was formerly known as NPH 400 that was released in 2002. But in 2004, it was renamed to Pro 400H and gave us better and cooler packaging. Now, Pro 400H and some other Fujifilm stocks was known for and differed itself from others thanks to its fourth color layer, which is cyan. So instead of RGB, we have RGBC. It was apparently designed to produce better color productions under fluorescent lights. Is this true? I don't know. I never shoot under fluorescent lights. Only harsh midday lighting for me.
Yeah?
Off to the next one.
On to the next one.
It is hot in this car. We got in our car and made it to our next destination, an abandoned grocery store. Alright, so I know this is blasphemy to take off the legendary 105, but the shot is too good and I need a wider angle. So I luckily have with me the 75. So yeah, we're gonna take a couple of shots with this. One thing that I forgot about Pro 400H is that sometimes it can be very purple. It's definitely something that you don't see that much nowadays. This photo is terrible, thanks to the lighting, composition, and just in general the photographer, but the color red sure does pop, which is something that this film stock is known for. So yeah, basically if you want to achieve that legendary pastel wedding look that you get with Fuji Pro 400H, everybody overexposes it by one stop. At box speed, it's just too grungy for me and too contrasty. It's a bit muddy. So yeah, I'll show you an example of this abandoned store shot at 200 and 400. Here's the 200 one, which by the way, all my shots are rated at 200. It's soft and has great shadow details. and this is what it looks like at box speed. Yeah, good luck to wedding photographers who use this at box speed. It's muddy, grainy, and just in general, an unpleasant image. Now, keep in mind this film stock is expired, I believe 2 or 3 years. But even when I shot it fresh, box speed was never the way to go. It really shines with a stop of overexposure. Now, I can't confirm this, but it is possible that this is a true 200 ISO film, but slapped with the 400 label in order to compete with Portrait 400. Once again, gossip, but this wouldn't be the first time where film stock lied about its true ISO. Yep, you can't even trust film stocks. That's a possible banger.
Yeah, didn't expect that there, to be honest.
But we have to get through all this. Shall we risk it for the biscuit?
For sure.
I think this is the first okay photo of the day. It's not bad. Alright, first roll down. Off to the next. My knees are killing me, by the way. Now you must be thinking, Adam hasn't taken a single horizontal photo. He must really like vertical photos. I mean, yeah, sure, it's great, but my Pentax 6.7 is a bit quirky. This is the mirror lockup version, and whenever I try to take a photo in landscape mode, the mirror doesn't come back down and it doesn't take a photo. But vertically, it's perfectly fine. So just like Isaac Newton once said, gravity, it kinda sucks. This spot is really cool, but I really wish that the Pentax can take horizontal photos and not vertical. Hopefully one day I'll be able to fix it. We found an abandoned truck behind the building, and it's safe to say that I was a bit excited. This was well worth getting here, and I'm probably gonna finish the roll with this. No, I'm gonna save a couple of shots. This is just so awesome. This is definitely gonna be a banger. Sadly, no banger here. I think I got too excited and just fired away, where I really should have slowed down and taken my time. Let's talk about the characteristics. Now, with film stock reviews, I only do minimal adjustments, but for this particular film stock, I really had to play around a bit. Now, I definitely would have edited more just to get it to where I like it, but I had to hold myself back just for this video. Now, with Pro 400H, not always, the magentas can really overtake the image, sorta like here. But with a little color correction, you are able to calm down the purple dinosaur. But other than that, it does give you accurate colors, medium contrast, and medium saturation. Plus, when you overexpose it by one stop, the grain is there, but it's pretty pleasant. Now, the only note for me would be watch out for high contrast scenes or a meter for the shadows, cause once the image gets muddy, it's not even worth downloading the scans. Alright, so we found this one spot that was on Google Maps. It was like this abandoned palace. Well, we journeyed on through the forest and we made it to the place, but sadly, well, there's a fence. So we found this cool abandoned house on Google Maps and we saw people take some really great photos. But sadly, when we arrived, it was fenced up and we couldn't get in. Lens cap off, as all professionals do. So I exposed one frame just cause we traveled a bit, but I knew it wouldn't be any good. Alright, so before we end this video, because I completely forgot, is this film stock's strong suit, which is portraits. So yeah, I'm gonna do a quick portrait of Matthew before we end the video and check out the skin tones. Yeah, the skin tones are amazing. I can see why it was so popular with wedding and portrait photographers. The pop of red and cooler temperature is great. Sadly, I don't do too much portraits, but if I did, this would be the film stock I'd use. And that's the end of the rolls and the video. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. Now, my final thoughts on Fuji Pro Founder H. I don't know how to say this, but I think I remembered it better than it actually is. Now, don't get me wrong, I still like it. For portraits, it is possibly unmatched, and the cooler temperature is more to my liking. But it isn't the dynamic force that I remembered it to be. Now, I personally didn't get a single photo that I'll remember a week later, and this could be due to multiple factors. 1. Lighting. It was harsh midday lighting, and to be honest, any color film in those conditions is pretty much terrible. And 2, it is slightly expired, or maybe it wasn't all that well kept, but I highly doubt that because it's only been expired for like 2 or 3 years. And the final reason, it just wasn't my day. Some days you go out and come home with utter garbage, no matter how good the location is. It happens to all of us, right? But I still gotta admit it's a great all-arounder, thanks to its medium contrast and medium saturation. But one thing that did bother me was the purple hue that can sometimes dominate the image. I mean, you can get rid of it, but it just requires a little bit of extra work. Now, will I miss this film stock? I mean, I seriously doubt it because I have 30 something more rolls left in the fridge. But when the day comes where I actually do run out, I don't think I'll buy anymore. Anyway, like, subscribe, do all that jazz. Take care. I'm excited.